Let's make some beaver tails. The cheesecake beaver tail. I even made a poutine one. I'm using my electric mixing bowl for this, and I'm gonna go ahead and add 1.5 cups of warm milk. I took it straight out of the fridge into the microwave for 1.5 minutes. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now 2¼ teaspoons of yeast, and any yeast is fine. The dry active or the quick rise, they both work. Giving this a really good whisk, and then we're gonna let it sit on the counter to let the yeast activate. Hopefully you guys are able to see the yeast activate. I find it so fascinating, and a reminder that if your yeast doesn't do that, do not continue. Your beaver tails, your bread, your buns, anything that you were making will not turn out if your yeast doesn't activate, okay? I'm going in with 1/3 cup of melted butter, about a teaspoon of salt, a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. I like to free pour, and then I always add extra. Now we need to start incorporating some all-purpose flour, and because I just made beaver tails, I know that my perfect amount is 3.5 cups. But like I always say, when making dough of any kind, start low and work your way up. Every time I make this beaver tail recipe, I have the softest dough I've ever made. Incredibly soft. Still warm too. I like to shape it into a little ball, but that is absolutely not needed. This is the texture that you are looking for. Soft, but it doesn't stick to your hands, all right? I'm gonna grease the bowl. I just have a little bit of butter left. Place the dough in, flip it around. We're gonna cover this and let it rise 1 hour, or until doubled in size. It's been 1 hour, and this is how our dough looks. I'm gonna dump it out. Now you can make your beaver tails any size that you want. I'm gonna divide this dough into 6. They are between 170 and 180 grams each. And now I'm just gonna roll it out. You can really make it any shape that you want. Kind of like that. And I'm going to place this onto a cookie sheet with some parchment. They're all rolled out. I'm gonna cover them and let them do a second rest. It's been about 30 minutes. All we have to do now is deep fry them and then load them up with some toppings. Hopefully my oil isn't too hot, and I did use vegetable oil because then it makes it like healthy because it's vegetables. We're gonna slowly add this in. Maybe it could have been like a lot hotter than that. And before y'all be like, you could have used a chopstick to tell you, I did. And it was bubbling, okay? I mean, it's bubbling. After just a few minutes, it's nice and golden brown. We're gonna flip it. They only take about 3 minutes or so on each side. After this, I'm gonna remove it and then continue with the rest. I'm gonna remove them and actually put them on a wire rack. They're all done, and I have no idea the flavors that I wanna go here. I really wish I had stuff to make a cheesecake one. I did show it at the beginning of this video because I have made it previous, but I can't make it this time because I don't have any fresh fruit. My daughter also has a whole bunch of friends over, and I love that my kids are still like kids, okay? So it is 9 p.m. and it is pitch dark, and we live in the wilderness. Like, we live in the sticks, okay? And my kids are outside playing hide and seek. Like, it's so cute. They're outside with like walkie-talkies and flashlights, and I still choose the bear. So I just have some plain granulated sugar, and I'm adding some cinnamon. And the only thing I can find right beside me is a measuring spoon. I'm using that to mix it. And I think I'll do this to a 2. Add some caramel sauce to it. I should remove one of these because I want to turn it into a poutine, even though I forgot to get French fries. So we're just doing cheese and gravy. But now it's gonna also be covered in syrup and sugar. My banana bread is done. Yes, my house always smells like a bakery. Grossest stuff ever invented. Nutella, and I'm gonna make a couple of them Nutella. A s'more one, so I'm taking some chocolate syrup. Forgot to buy small marshmallows. So we're just I am over trying to cut those. Just taking a graham cracker that I think is stale. But these some chocolate chips, like I don't really know. Like you can really make your beaver tails anything that you want. They're just glorified donuts. Have some extra chocolate, because why not? No one sleeps around here. So we got those going on right now. Look at that one. Oh, I want all of them. It's time for mine. I'm not sure why it was important to whisper there. Anyways, I'm using these cheese curds. I just got them at Walmart for like $5. Maybe I should break them up a little bit. Now when I had this beaver tail in Toronto, there was French fries on it. And like I said, I forgot the French fries. So we're just going with cheese and gravy. And I made the gravy really thick. I might have to use a fork and knife on this one. I don't think there's any classy way to eat this.
That's my baby bottle.
I had to use a fork and knife on it.
Yeah.
It all just fell into the Nutella.